It's live, you know that.
It is. Let's go.
All right, welcome back, Chris. Another
How are
episode
we?
of Experts in the Loop. I am good. It is Friday. It's end of the week. Some cool stuff.
It is.
Has happened
It's been a
this
week.
People got the end of, you know, the Christmas in July came early for folks, but it's only a limited Christmas in July for folks that are interested in Fable. What happened there?
Well, I think all of us have been quite excited. We've been ever since they snuck it to us, like, and then took it out from underneath us, due to the security risks that the US government was, suggesting that they were too much risk of having it out there in the market. But then, even though that has been the case, there's been like 3 other big updates that have come across the world with other AI tools, and I guess they've just gone, actually, maybe we need to get this out there before these foreign AI companies start taking over.
That's it. I think that there's also like all these other groups that are just looking at, okay, how do you actually get Fable 5 like capabilities from not just the open source, but other existing models, just around harnessing, like how they build the harness. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on there. Have you played around with Fable 5 yet?
Of course, it was like the first thing I did. The moment the email dropped into my inbox and the message went out that, hey, we're back in live, I was straight in there, and I burnt all those tokens in the first 5 minutes of its usage. It was great.
Oh, okay. Because we've got it until 7th of July, so it's like maybe 5 business days or something like that. And initially you got to test it a lot more than I did. I did like one little test of recreating a website, but nothing more than that. You've been able to take it a good bit further when you were doing your tests. Do you have some plans, like now that you've had this time to touch grass and step away from things? Have you had some plans on like what it is that you want to test Fable 5 on in this limited time that you've got access to it before it gets the token usage?
I know why are they moving it to the token usage? I hope there's going to be something that still is maintained within our plans.
They want to make money, I think.
But why have a plan at this point, right? The couple of few things I want to test it on. We're running some projects with a couple of custom clients looking at setting up tools that help support workflows within their organization. So I'm going to be using it to build things mainly. I ran a few tests last night using just to see how it differed between Opus and when using a goal, setting a goal. So like do this thing and don't stop until you've done it. And I was quite impressed. It's like it's interesting watching how it tries to plan and structure things in real time, because I did it with I set no human in the loop. I might just go for it. There's no stopping point, so it just continually just tried to achieve that goal until it's done. And it was quite impressive just to watch the little things that pop up going, oh, this is what I'm thinking about doing next. I'm going to try this, and then I'm going to try this, and then it just does this thing, and then it was much more efficient than what Opus was at running a similar prompt. Albeit it wasn't a complex thing. This is I've got a little app that does all these news daily updates that shows stuff onto my phone, and there were couple little bugs that popped up with some changes that happened in the AI market, because I'm running things via CLI, and Gemini's changed their CLI accessibility now because they've moved to anti-gravity, and then so I had to port the whole structure over into a new sort of layout. So I said, hey, this is the kind of layout I want. This is the structure that I want you to run everything in the background, make those changes in this one section. And then I did Opus in a different section just to see how they compare in terms of functionality and speed. And as expected, Fable just crushed it compared to Opus. It's crazy.
I can imagine. Probably a lot more. People are using the goal function I've seen in when they're using Fable 5. So they're using Opus to do like deep research, and then using the goal function for like I've seen some tests like recreate this this application, like recreate Excel, basically. And
did as an agent do that? I don't think I have enough. I don't think a 20x account would even be enough to recreate that. I feel like you would like have to do it through 3 phases throughout the day.
Oh, What's going on there? Sorry. I had this playing in the background as I'm just sharing it with folks. I don't know if you could hear that.
No, nothing's playing.
Oh, cool. All good. But yeah, they were recreating Excel, which was like interesting. And then a whole heap of like recreate all these other applications that, people want. So I might try something like that today, just in the background.
Yes, I want to see it. Do we want to pull up a prompt now and show it? Let's do it.
Yeah. Do you want to bring something up on your side while I just share to a few of the communities that we're on now? Or actually, you know what? Let's just get into it. So I will share. Let me just prep my screen here. A few things that I've got going on. I'm actually getting it to do so. So I'm doing some deep research at the moment. So if I show you here.
Do you reckon we do you do one with Fable and I'll do it on Opus and then see and we compare results?
Yeah, we could. My one's just not finished the deep research part though. So if I'm gonna so put it this way, if you I'll share my screen here so you get to see the behind the scenes of the planning this thing. So can you see my screen there, Chris?
Yep.
So I say, can you do some research, and don't even spell it right, but that's fine, into what good prompt would be to make Fable 5 recreate an investment platform similar to Bloomberg, but using all open source tools. And it's asked for the core focus. I said, well, just let's do terminal news, portfolio risk, charting, etc. It's tried to access some tools. It's now 254 sources and counting. And the goal of this is to output a prompt that I will then put into Fable 5, and I'll probably use CoWork for that. So I'll come back to this. But in terms of the work that I think it could do, it could improve a whole heap of things. So another one, if there is enough tokens left, is earlier on I built this because I work in the legal AI space. So this is a report that has different sections around the legal AI space. So, we can jump to those sections. You can see.
And you built this with Fable?
No, Chris. Oh. I have not built this with Fable. Oh. I only got access to Fable yesterday. So
it could be something you built yesterday. I don't know. I was excited for you.
Nope. This is all built with like Opus and Sonnet. This is just traditional Claude. But showcasing like, okay, here's the various kind of applications. Here's what the state of AI looks like in the legal space. There's even
animations.
Yeah, even a shout out to the open source community. So the legal AI space has a lot of like these open source tools. People are doing cool things here, but a nice way to do these reports. I want to get Fable 5 to relook at this. But at the moment, it is just doing its deep research. So who knows how long that one's going to take. So if I just come back to where we are and just like hide that, it'll be something that I'll have to do a little bit later on, because I could just get Fable 5 to do something just really simple just now, like show it a website and get it to recreate it.
Let's do that.
But we've looked at some cool websites. So let me load up here the Lando. What was the one that you were going to do anyway?
I really liked it because you showed how awesome this McLaren website was.
Well, it's not.
Want to give that one a go?
It's not a McLaren website. It is
the Lando Norris.
Yeah, this one here. So as you can see, this is the cinematic scroll is what they call it, where when you scroll, things happen on the page. There's this interactivity that's been really well designed. So one thought was like, how well could Fable do at doing something like this? I tried it initially on the prompt being something like, if you were going to build a website that's designed to win an award, AWW, like as in a WWW award, like the Webby kind of awards, with GSAP and using 3JS, so like some really advanced Java type tools. How would you do it? But if we just gave Fable 5, so let's load up a new one, and let's just give Fable 5 access to this. So I'm doing the dangerous thing. So there you go, included until July 7. So have a look at the website, and can you recreate it using the necessary libraries that you would need for this? For example, GSAP, GSAP 3JS, etc. Go. Okay, there's all my tokens done.
Libraries.
It's like the it's like the South Park episode where they do the investing, and you put some money into the markets and it's gone. You put some,
and
you put a prompt.
It's gone.
You put a prompt in here and it's gone. By the way, we can track our token usage if you folks didn't know already. You go to settings in here and you go to usage and you can see your settings. So still at 0, although it's starting to creep up a little bit. So my usage for today, I was doing ready stuff this morning at the cafe, as I always do before work. But yeah, it's now doing some research there into what what's on the website. It's reading the front end. You can always click to see the skill that it loads. If you're not using skills, you do need to look into that. It's looked at the website, so yeah, there it'll just load that. But yeah, we'll come back to this one and just see what it's doing.
I've got Opus 4.8 looking at it in the background as well, doing the exact same.
Oh, do you? Okay, cool. Do you have anything that you can show?
As in about what this prompt is, or
no, about what Opus 4.8 is. Can you bring it up on your share screen?
It's on now. You can see it if you pop it up.
Yep. You're gonna have to move. Okay, there we go. All right. So we're showing that now. What have you got?
So here? I'm going to do bypass missions. So I'm just going to let it run its thing. But I've done exactly the same. I've done exactly the same prompt. I've got to accept those few things. Whereas have a look at the website, see if you can recreate necessary libraries that you would need for this. Blah blah blah. So it's doing exact same prompt that you've put in. And I just want to see what the comparison is between what 4.8 and Fable can recreate.
I like it. What do you think that, like, have you done this kind of test before? You're just like, Opus and, the non-Fable kind of models, the best of?
No, not a comparison like in this sense. I usually will just test running it in a couple of my projects just to see what's happened specifically, because we've only ever had Fable for a kind of like a real handful of time, so we haven't had it in this full extent of a long period where it can run some really nice comparisons. So I think over the next couple of days, if they don't take it from underneath us again, I'm gonna probably start running a few comparisons while I'm playing video games at night. I'll just run a big prompt that's not going to consume my daily tokens.
Oh yeah, good luck with that. I just had the lights go out on me because apparently I haven't moved enough. It's a freaking meeting room. Like, I'm over here at the offices at Madison Marcus for anyone that's wondering. But yeah, let's get back on.
The thing I do want to compare it to is there is, I don't know if you heard about it, the Sakana Fugu Ultra.
I've heard of Sakana as an AI model. What is Fugu Ultra?
So that's kind of like they're stouted as the kind of the Fable. I would say it's not a Fable killer. It is, but it's coming very close. So non-US agent, I'm pretty sure I think it's Chinese or maybe Japanese. I can't remember, to be honest. So don't quote me on that one.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's Japanese.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think it's Japanese. So it is a multi-agent system, kind of delivered as one model. So you're interacting with one touch point, and the agent sort of decides how it's going to build and whatever your prompt is. Because when Fable got taken off the shelves, this sort of propped up all throughout social media, and that it was proving very, very skilled at being able to recreate quite detailed and structured digital solutions. So it's got a local version, and it's also it's a paid version, it's cloud version. So it's really tapping into that kind of open source market, as well as having those paid online plans. And so it's kind of kicked off quite strongly as an alternative to Fable at the moment.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. The thing is, what I read about Fable was that there's this whole, is it really just all using Fable, or were you having some things routed? It was more for like if you are doing things that are kind of antithetical to what Fable allows you to do, that they would just route you over to Sonnet, or they would just maybe just ban you or whatever. But if they didn't want you using Fable for that kind of stuff, they would route you to a lower model, but you just didn't know. So there's this kind of debate around, like, you know, the lack of control that you have for these things. Sure, it's great, you know, it gives us all this capability, but if you can't control what's under the hood, I mean, it informs a lot of the build process that I have when I get into some of the tools that we're building. But yeah, if you don't have control, it's like, well, you know, this is not a good thing. So
share the screen. Share the screen for a sec.
Yeah, I will. Your one or my one?
My one.
Okay, 1 second. Here we go. What are we seeing
so
here?
These are the scores for the benchmarks of Fugu, of Sakana's Fugu Ultra.
Interesting. Okay.
So you can see here, this is in the middle here, this Fugu Ultra. So it doesn't have Fable on there, but it does compare Opus 4.8 and 5.5, which is obviously one of the two big alternative coding agents tools out there. You see there, even from SW Bench Pro is one of the big ones that a lot of people follow. You can see it's got a 73.7 versus Opus 4.8. If I remember correctly, I think Fable's at about 75, so it doesn't track as high. But for something that is a strong alternative, like it's pretty damn good and pretty damn up there in terms of its capabilities. And like you said, I think it does a very similar thing to what Fable does, where it does not, but with different intentions. It's rerouting to different models to be able to give you the best outcome in real time, whereas Fable is doing that obviously as a more of a restriction kind of thing.
I like it. I've got some results here, Chris. I've got some breaking news from Fable, so I'm gonna share. Go back to sharing my screen. So
already, wow, mine is still going.
All right, so I'll do this. I'll switch over. So here, there's a whole heap of work I was going to show you, but this is basically what it's built. Who knows what this is? It's supposed to represent a helmet, but it's not bad.
It's animated though. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then
can you full screen it? Full screen it. Yeah.
That one. Here we go. Okay, so going back to the top here, you know, some sort of like try to recreate a helmet. It's not bad. You can kind of tell that there's like, you know, there's a visor there, but okay. And then whoever, you know, Kai Mercer is, we don't know. We've just made this up. Apex Racing. Actually, Kai Mercer might actually be a real one. I definitely don't watch Drive to Survive, as you can tell here.
My wife is obsessed with it. I too.
Oh, really?
But yeah.
But look at this. I really like this side scroll effect that, you know, it doesn't go down until it finishes this side scroll of whatever it is that you want on here. You know, it'll go through that, and then finally we get to, you know, these sort of things, and all of these like interactive SVG designed helmets. Not bad. Okay. And yeah, some really cool stuff here. This is just off a single shot, one prompt. Not bad. What if you actually knew what you were doing? I literally just said that.
Also, the speed at which it's done it. That's what's surprising me the most.
Speed, what have I paid for this? So if we have a look at my usage, showing everything, you know, people might not see. 2% used. That's not bad. So for 2%, you can get something like that. You know, it might be different for each of you, depending on what you've already used Fable for. But I wouldn't be angry if, you know, this is what you get as like a first draft from, you know, a process of building a cool tool like that. Imagine giving this like a different motive, as in like, okay, build a legal AI website, or a legal, you know, a new law firm website. Change it to these colors, have these as the themes, or even reports. Like, I mean, I was showing you before this AI built state of AI report. So AI to help build its own state of AI report. Deep research with ChatGPT, and then Claude just Opus doing this. You know, not bad. But yeah, this is another level, that's for sure. So what do you think?
I think I am now 9 minutes into mine generating, and I wish I was using Fable to do it instead. And it's still going.
Well, let's jump over to yours. Can we share your screen?
You can, yeah. It's mine's still creating. So you can see it's gone through. It's created, done a little bit of an audit of the site. It's gone through to identify what some of the assets and the sort of build structures, what the palette is, and now it started to create a few of the image layers. Now it's doing the orchestration layer. So it's just trying to create the SVGs for the helmet gallery. So yeah, it's still going. We're gonna hit 10 minutes almost now. So Fable wins on time.
It wins on time. Where should we go? Let's do it live. Where should we go with my one in terms of
what do we want to add to it?
Well, that's it. This is the thing. We can add whatever we want to it. So why don't we change the theme? Like, I work in the legal AI space, so let's do something. Let's change the theme of this to be, actually, no, let's change the sport. World Cup. Let's change it to be a World
focus
Cup
on soccer.
themed
or football, I should
website. Yep, football. Can you create a new HTML? So just leave this one as is. Go wild in terms of design creativity, and make sure it is interactive and worthy of winning a www award in 2026. All right, we'll run that one, see how it goes. But yeah, these are cool little artifacts. If people don't know, doing this kind of stuff is quite like useful. I have here my Claude code. So for that report that I showed you before, I said, see the report here we created. I want to add a section to it covering Australian companies. I'm just going to copy this out. So you've got companies there like Mary Technology, all that kind of stuff. I want to actually change the model now that I've got Fable access. So we'll go Fable 5 or just Fable. I'll copy that back in, and we'll see how it goes at recreating that. So whilst this one's working here, again, you can click, we can see what it's doing. FIFA World Cup 2026, USA, Canada, Mexico. Typography leading towards unbounded. Actual build, I'll keep the scope manageable but impactful. A stadium tunnel preloader. So you can already see the idea of what it's trying to create. Interactive centerpiece is a penalty shootout game where you drag to aim and shoot. Okay, let's see if it actually does that. That'll be amazing if it does. It's going to stick with GSAP and scroll trigger for animations, pure canvas 2D for the games. Try host coloring, it's already thinking about that design. And the structure starts with kickoff is what it said there. And now it's going to do no recycling, an unofficial love letter to the summer of 48, try host tournament as chalk and floodlight zone. Amazing. Okay, we'll probably have to come back to this to see what it creates, Chris, but I'm excited to see what comes back. Being a watcher of the various kind of games, and going to be one of those like that will get up early tomorrow morning to watch Australia.
Let's go, 4 a.m.
Beat Egypt, you heard it here. But yeah, it's crazy the kind of cool stuff that it can do. How's it going on your side? Is it?
It's still going.
Still researching?
Oh, it's loading now. Okay, right. Here we go.
Okay, I'll share yours. Here we go.
Ooh,
what have we got here? Wow.
Oh, okay. Actually, that's
not bad. That's not bad.
Let's
It's stuck with the same name, so that's good.
Let's get this out. Oh, there we go. All right.
Okay, not bad.
That's actually done pretty well. Yeah, I'm surprised it's done the same name. It's it got an interactive ball here. I don't know what these shapes are. I found a similar thing. I built a website for it. So our community center, kids community center, wanted to do a little fundraiser thing, and I quickly generated a website doing a similar prompt where I was like, I really like the style of this playful website, recreate this for this. And there were some interesting shapes and movements across the page, like using that sort of cinematic view. And it was very funny how it tries to recreate shapes, how it interprets the shapes and recreates them. And it's just like, it's a little bit of a hit and miss sometimes.
So this is like and as you scroll through, it's nice to see these effects as, these things
still
that
very
are like
static.
That's okay. The hurdles that you get. So, okay. So for example, like, you've got these random shapes it's tried to figure out. However, if you knew how to use Blender or some of these other tools or whatever it is to do like 3D like shapes, imagine you could provide that and you go, I've already got the assets here. And you don't do it in just Claude, the chat. You actually did it in Cowork or Claude Code, where you're pointing to folders of assets, contexts, and all of these things that are best practice design. Like you're basically, creating a project team. And the fact that anyone can learn this, because before the access was limited by humans, like we had to have people that had the skills to do this kind of stuff. And yes, you still need the skills to do it, but the access is there that if you were able to get access to those files, the data, the assets here, you could pretty much create anything. This is another one of those leaps and bounds capabilities that fence is a lot lower than people realize. That's pretty cool. So
let's have a look at the usage.
Yeah, I'd be keen on.
Whoa. So that is 20% of my session, albeit I'm on a 5x plan, so it's not as big. So if I 20x'd it, so it's pretty similar. It's pretty similar usage to what you had with.
I can't remember
what it is confusing because I haven't done any. Oh, you know what? Wow. Remember I said I accidentally did that little research piece with Fable before?
Yeah.
68% it used.
Wait, that
on
research
on an email, because that was the first time I'd used the AI tool this morning.
That is weird because like I literally had so we saw, if we rewind back the video, folks, but you saw there that it looked up 280, nearly 300 sites. I actually no, sorry, I lied. Opus was doing some research for me. So all I did Fable for was just a very simple
website.
The goal I had was to use Opus, and I've seen others do this, use Opus to do some deep research on a thing and, create the right prompt for Fable. And maybe you even create it, not just a prompt, but a prompt's very light. If you have a prompt plus assets, and then you give it to Fable to, piece all of that together, I think you get a far better result. But that is really interesting.
And there are obviously levels of like how much effort you want the AI tool to use, improving your context window and stuff. I had it up at extra. I mean, you can go 2 levels up all the way up to ultra code, but I thought extra is just a good little balance.
It's a good test. It's a really good test. I'm on a 5x plan as well, by the way. So like I haven't used Fable at all yet. I'm just waiting on it, like on my side, just as you're scrolling through there on yours. I'm coming back with some results, so I'm going to stop the share and go over to mine. So this is the FIFA one, 3, 2, 1 kickoff. Okay, can you see?
Gotten rid of the animation.
Yep, click the pitch to kick the ball. Okay, that's not bad. If you have a better mouse control.
That's actually pretty cool. And it's just done that. You didn't prompt it to create a game, did you?
No. All I prompted it was what you saw before, like make this more FIFA themed.
That is awesome. How cool is that?
That's not bad. That's not bad. Let's see what else it does.
Could you imagine you could make that as like a little game? Like that could be the next prompt. Like, I really love what you've done here. Could we turn that into a mini game with 2 goals either side? The person has to kick the ball and the goals in that feature.
We don't have these are all the cities. I didn't even know this. Like I could tell, like with the Australian game, that there were, it's all East Coast. Like there's upper north, the Midwest, Dallas, Houston stuff, down south, LA and Mexico and all that. So interesting. Sudden death shooter. Okay, where should we shoot it, Chris? Where do we want to shoot?
Top right.
Wide.
Oh.
Okay. What does that mean? Am I supposed to?
Are you kicking it? Or
there. Okay. I thought you had to pull it back.
You have to pull back.
Okay. So the goalie, I'm just going to go straight for him. Oh.
Retake. I think you have to click it.
I have to click retake.
Yeah.
Oh, he saved
it.
Okay, let's retake.
Hey.
Because he has to guess.
Did that just say ghoul? It said ghoul, not goal.
Cool. Okay, so I don't know what this thing is. It's like 1 of 5. Okay. So I've done 1. Okay, so my team. They should have another team here. Okay, he saved. So, this is the one. Maybe it's this one to win. Which way are we going to go? I don't even know. Cool. Heartbreak. I don't know why. Road to the final, they've got this. I mean, you could tell this anything. You could say, add real results here. So are these real people? These are legends of the invented 11. So yeah, fictional grades. We'll tell it to do something real. This is great. Can you bring in real up to date results and make this more realistic? And again, Fable 5, let's check usage. So to do that, was it more than 2%? It used up 3 more percent.
Wow.
But the current session, look at this, my current session, which was like a 23, 24, as I'm using like Opus and Sonnet and all that, is far higher. But this is impressive. If we just reload the page, I just want to see that animation again. So refresh. Okay, let's just close it and then just click it back. 3, 2, 1, kick off. I mean, it's simple graphics there. It's not really super well designed, but this is.
But you could fix that. I mean, like, very easily.
I could give it like assets that now that it started this draft, you could give it some assets.
Yeah, or you select fonts. You can be more specific around the font direction. And,
even this person here, like I could make it so that I'd have to pull back. Like kind of like a slingshot effect. You could do that. You could change the goalie to be someone more real, like using like I guess GPT for image 2. They've got the greatest, the best image model there. Some cool stuff here. So
put like Lionel Messi as the kicker, maybe, or the goat
maybe a little run up or something. Not bad. Yeah,
that is very cool. Meanwhile, mine's 20 minutes and 21 minutes in, and it's still generating stuff for the original page.
Okay. Damn.
Damn.
I'll come back to mine if it as it updates. It's just working in the background. The tournament mid knockout right now, so let me pull the actual results. It's refactoring the bracket. It's doing a whole bunch of different things. But yeah, this is
very cool.
Not bad stuff that it's doing there.
But I've got a bit of a it's the sidestep a little bit, a question for us to explore.
Okay, go ahead.
And we talk about this a lot, AI in organizations, the importance and the role that it plays. And the question I kind of had was, how important or how much should people be thinking about the importance of AI within their business, particularly when a lot of other people in the business may have still relevant or different ways of working. So a really easy example is, let's say this business, they're utilizing Claude quite a lot within the organization. They've got an enterprise account, and your finance team is looking to upgrade their systems. They're not heavy on AI usage. They want to go with a new sort of finance tool that would support the things that they need. But there is an opportunity to integrate a tool that has AI capabilities that might attach into Claude. So do you favor the finance team for their platform usage, or do you favor potentially the broader business with the AI usage, and which could mean that there's a few struggles with the finance team to then integrate a new platform into the organization? So that question is like, how important, how much should people be thinking about AI adoption with organizations as a priority versus current ways of working?
I guess it depends on how big the problem is, and it gets back to economics, and you can use economics in anything. People don't realize this, but like economics affects, and what I mean is like understanding systems and behaviors, and people don't realize this, but why do we have speed limits, for example, at 110 on the Hume Highway and 80 in the suburbs? Because they've calculated that there is an acceptable number of accidents, and accidents lead to, worse things, unfortunately, knock on wood. But there is an acceptable number of the efficiency of going down a highway and getting from place to place versus the trade-off that if you increase the speed limit, if we turned it all of a sudden into the Autobahn, like in Germany, you will have to expect an increase in the number of accidents and other things that come from that. So it's a system of trade-offs. And what I'm saying this is because if people are trying to figure out, like, how do we use AI? Do we use AI? First of all, measure, like, how big is the problem that is that you're trying to solve. It may be that it doesn't really matter the problem, but because it's the hype wave, so there's a market factor, there's an environmental factor, there's a lot of hype going on, you see competitors doing it, you need to be saying that you're doing it. We had that kind of wave. Now we're in the serious wave where the Kool-Aid is worn off. Someone said it the other day, I forget what it was, but it's something along the lines of, like, the sugar hit has worn off. Now people are trying to go, well, actually, does this work? And what that means is, like, so I build in the legal AI space. Like, if I pull up, for example, some of the tools that, we're building with here, as it's done, it's signed, so we'll come back to that. I've got this tool, Legal Claw. So what Legal Claw is, it's just, these are all invented cases, by the way, so it does not matter. But I can go in here and I can see, okay, on this case, there's been some doc review. There's been a few things that have been done. I've got the AI suggesting some next steps. I can talk to the AI about this and ask a bit more questions. I can add in notes from partners. So, this has all come about from understanding the ways of working. All of this has come about as well and has been tested. So, for example, if I take a look at this document review, these things that it does, leaving an audit trail, being able to check and do this verification of citations if there are any, and how you actually do it. It's not just everything is AI doing, like, the work, but it's actually getting AI to, for example, show you the work that it's doing. So let's just say that I want to do this and I want to get it to do some some debate here against itself, and I'll just get the agents to work on that. The work that comes out here and it's showing you the results versus not, understanding, like, okay, what's happening in the background, and you see a big spinning scroll wheel. All of those things, and having it show the debate when it gets to the debate part, and being transparent and being able to verify and being able to make it easy to use. Or even, like, the thing that I'm working on, and I think this is where a lot of other tools need to get to, is you're trusting humans to learn how to use your tool, right? And I think you should have that, because we're not going to just all of a sudden stop using tools and just get AI to do everything. But you also need to make it so that it's easy for the AI to use the tools as well. So it could just be a simple instruction of, okay, AI, you've got, these things here. I'm calling it an AI, like we call it associates in the legal space. So an AI associate, an A associate kind of thing. So having that with access to those tools that I showed, and being able to verify and all that. And going back to your question, it's a long roundabout way of doing it, but you need to be able and willing to get into that level of detail to verify things. Now, we're building that tool ourselves, but if it's tools that you're getting off the shelf, you need to be able to verify that these things are producing the results that you want. Have you got something you want to share up here on screen?
I'm going to pull it up in a second, but yes, I really agree with what you were saying. There were two sort of sentiments that you for me, you hit the nail on the head. The first one is ROI, so understanding what's the impact that it's actually having on the organization. So in the scenario that I gave around, the finance integrating a new tool, and the rest of the business is utilizing a lot of AI. So is it worth focusing on finding a tool that does have that integration with the rest of the organization? It's like, well, yes, maybe, but is that value that you're giving to the rest of the organization actually going to drive some kind of return? Are they saving time? Are they, compared to the time that it's going to be taking for the finance team to have to, integrate and learn a new platform? Is it going to be adding value to the workflows of the greater? And like you said, sometimes you think about the Autobahn, the sacrifice is the fact that you have a smaller finance team means unfortunately you will have to go through some hard pains because there are 80 other people in the business who, who will benefit from utilizing this system. And then obviously you have all the governance and other pieces that come into play. Like, is this tool safe for the business? The data, they are, they have finance adherences that they have to, security and protocols that they need to adhere to. Does this tool because it has the AI capabilities, does it breach those governance, or does the governance need to shift to integrate something like this? And again, that's more time and that's more money. And then the other one is the hype train, which is the big one. And I was trying to pull up a McKinsey report that came out recently. That was touching on a lot of the fact that we are off the hype train. Like we're coming down on the other side of that, that bell curve, and we are well in the area now of exploring, okay, what is the impact this is actually having on our organization? Are we seeing actual true returns, or is there real opportunity for us to be integrating these tools that are going to benefit us? And the report is actually quite positive. I know you and I have gone through some previous reports over the last year or so that have all been like, oh, AI is not impacting our business at all. Oh, it's not doing this. We're not saving time here and doing this. But the truth of the matter is that it has actually had a drastic and positive change on a lot of working. A lot of office jobs are seeing huge amounts of benefits from time saving, for whether it's 10 minutes here to an hour or two there in a week, which adds up to like millions of dollars at the end of the year, for small businesses, all the way up to billions in enterprise. So it is having a positive change, but it still does come back to that there are nuances where people haven't integrated things correctly because they haven't considered all those things we just touched on. They've ridden this hype wave and they've spent all this money, and they're not seeing the returns because they didn't have a strategy to start with. They just threw it in to try and stay ahead of the curve, which was obviously the wrong approach. So
exactly.
So yeah.
I think it's a very important question, as listeners are going to try to figure out, and folks that rewatch this, it's basically something that you need to have some awareness of, and pay some time and attention to. So yeah, we'll take a look at that. I just wanted to bring up the updated things it has done in the background on my side. So give me a sec here. I've got it going crazy with the research. It was probably a dangerous thing to try to get the AI to do, it's currently using, Fable to do basic research tasks. I should have probably balanced between the two, but I'm okay for the research here because this is all for test and experimentation purposes. This is like what you wouldn't do. You wouldn't use Claude Fable to do the research, but here in terms of just recreating that website, so this is it's still the same kind of intro that we've got here, but now it's got a few things like real, the shootout, yep, fun, do we score again, who knows, yep, we got a ghoul. The road to the finals now updated. So
wow,
you can see here,
cool. Yes,
the updates. I don't know what the yellow and red lines are, if that's like percentage of held.
No hover state on them.
No, there is, but like there's nothing there, and the lights.
Yeah, there's no dark on doesn't have a. Is there any sort of thing up top like a letting you know what it is?
No, but hang on a second. I'm just trying to get the lights to move here. There we go. Yeah. So weird. Anyway, so where's my chair? There we go. No, there's nothing. There's no hover state or anything that you can see. But it has updated the legends to can actually be real ones now. So you can see some real stats for those guys. But yeah, you could take this like anywhere. I mean, I like the helmet thing that it tried to create before. This research thing that it's doing, I'll just say, let's go. Sorry. It wants to research everything. This is crazy. You have done enough research. Just build the damn thing. No. Okay. Yeah, this is some cool stuff that we've got Claude doing over here, and Fable. So for anyone else that is looking to use it, I reckon that you get out and try it. Just make sure you watch your token usage. How's yours?
I've had to. So you can see here, it's not displaying properly in the actual browser functionality. It's kind of broken itself. So I'm just going to see if it works in. I've told it to just set up a local. Let's see what that looks like.
Tell it to
I think it works. I think it's just there we go.
There we go.
So it's added a few more colors. Like got a bit, some nice little shading there, and some some highlights. I think what it was working on was a lot of the mobile responsiveness as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got some of the animations. That's pretty cool. It's got some movements. It's like it's followed a very similar precedence to yours. You can see like it's just not getting, some of the letters cut off. It's like there'd be a lot of back and forth refinement. Again, like what is this shape that it's done? But still impressive that it's done it.
Yeah.
It's just that I'm not going to try and do the soccer field one. I don't think it'll.
Oh yeah,
I think it'll be a hit and miss. I got in the background. I don't think it's going to be quick enough. I got a codex to do the same thing.
Okay.
Interested to see what that output is, but maybe share it as a post on the side when we push this up.
Yeah, gonna have to try that and say like cursor and other things there. So
yeah.
Not bad. My thing's still working in the background at doing some
not
research now, but like it's now building the actual tool. So going back to the le traditional Claude Code. So it's just finding out some various news, because one of the things that the Legal AI report that I had, State of Legal AI, it didn't cover the local scene in terms of founders. It covers local leadership at law firms that are, saying that they're doing something in the AI space or innovation space. So you've got a list of folks here, including myself, which is, have to include that because we are doing stuff here at Madison Marcus. But yeah, it's still doing this work on stuff. So it's building out, it's still doing the web search side of things. So I know that I will probably pay for that with my tokens.
Yes.
Tokens really are the currency here, but keeping an eye on it. And it's really funny because like people talk about tokens here as like tokenomics, the tokenomics of using AI. And it's so funny because like tokenomics is something that comes from the digital assets space when it comes to tokens there.
Yeah.
Your finance. So it's really weird that there's this crossover in terms of tokens. It's the same thing, but different. But yeah, it's
becoming a more and more important discussion for businesses as they try to, particularly ones where they are relying a lot on AI as an engine, not necessarily like a Claude, like a front-facing tool, but an engine that is operating things in the background. We had the guys from Minotaur Capital talk about it. And we're proposing something in a customer that I'm working with now, which is essentially an always-on research feature when they're looking for new ventures and opportunities. And their original structures were going directly with Claude because they're using Claude across the organization. And I was like, I recommend trying to look at some alternative solutions for how you conduct your research and your summaries, because again, tokenomics, like if you use Claude for this constant always on deep research, it is very, very costly. And that same cost could go into setting up your own little local system with a couple of localized models that are doing a lot of the summarization or some of the high level research, or switching to another model like Perplexity, which is, can still be costly, but it does research probably better, arguably much better than Claude, and is a little bit more affordable. So it's understanding models and purpose is becoming really important, which is where the tokenomics.
People can you can also just judge it from the feel of the thing. Like if you're not getting as good results, like try it with something else. If, as you saw, like the results weren't great for when you were using for the research, the web search that you were using Claude for, it wasn't that great, but depending on some other people, maybe they found good enough results. So it really depends on what you're trying to do. It is the vibes of the thing.
It's the vibes. It's also what though, right? It says, what does good look like? If you're someone who's used to doing desk research with Google, your benchmark of what good is probably not there. If suddenly you're switching to Claude, you're like, oh, this is great. This is like, it's giving me the stuff, but it's like, actually, you could be doing things in a much more simpler or a much more affordable or a different way and get better results. So there is still a strong education point that is part of it that will benefit organizations from an individual perspective, but probably not so much. But when you start getting to that enterprise level, that education piece is quite crucial. Otherwise, you'll be like that company that spent $100,000 in a single week.
Well, I mean, there's that, or even the budget, however many millions it was for Uber. to use. For the year, they spent, or in a quarter, they spent their yearly budget or whatever it was. So maybe it was a few months. So
it's insane. Insane to think about. I thought close out on a just a little quick question. Like, is there anything you've learned or found useful with kind of the tools that you're playing with? You can share with people.
What do you mean by useful? Like
anything you've learned, anything new that's kind of different around how you are operating with Claude?
Not just Claude, man, but like, so I've been testing the open source like tools. When you say tools, I guess there's Claude, there's like what's happening in ChatGPT world, or like OpenAI world, even open source tools. I tried out GLM, and it's interesting because for the cost of something that's similar to Sonnet, and I was testing it on specific use cases, like how it would do certain like legal AI review kind of works. I'm not using it for code. I was using it via, so people think that the only options that you've got for accessing open source models is to pay for, having a virtual private server, having a Mac Mini, that kind of stuff. But the thing is, you can also achieve this by third-party providers who provide at a, these things are discounted. Like, so you still pay a fee, but it's far cheaper than Opus. It's more similar to, it's far cheaper than Fable 5. Well, no, Opus, because it was compared to Opus. It's whatever the price is, it's far similar to Sonnet, and you get Opus-like results, supposedly. I was testing that, and, all the benchmarks that are out there, like, hey, this one's better than this. You could use a really simple model and still get the results that you need if your problem is just simple. It's finding the right model to solve the right problem. And the only way you're going to do that is by testing things out on real problems that you're facing. So, working around ways to also de-identify information, because the tyranny of being here in Australia, the landlocked country, is we're also landlocked from a regulation perspective around what AI you can use. So even things like, not being able to just use AI models, any AI models sitting anywhere on the data that you've got. So we have to de-identify information. So the way that I do that is with a mix of just traditional natural language processing and then a local AI model, GPT-4o, sitting in Microsoft Azure in Australia. So now that it's pretty much covered the whole document and de-identified things, now I can send that overseas and test it on GLM or test it on other models. So it's all tests and stuff at the moment. But yeah, those are the interesting things. I'm doing a whole lot of work in the eval space. And then that's the main learnings that I've had, is like just learning which models work better for different things. You can't, definitely don't use Haiku for trying to pull back citations from cases. It just fails, or it makes up too much. Sonnet, at least, and then you need multiple, agents looking at the stuff there. But what about you?
Why not something like ChatGPT Mini or stuff like that, which are
same sort of thing.
To hallucinate.
They hallucinate, and this is the only thing. The thing you only realize when you're
critical, right, for your industry.
Yeah. So when you're doing work, when you're doing testing, you have to try the different models. Like GPT Mini could be as good as Sonnet. I don't think it would be, though. I haven't tested that. And we use AWS here a lot, so I do use a bit of Azure for some testing and stuff. I could do this all on one model versus the other, but something that is a discovery as well, and we've seen others see this, is and we're not the only ones to speak about it, but where you do have agents talking to each other and debating each other, best to have different models running, not just like the one model. So those are the learnings. But sorry, a few minutes left. What are some of the things that you've seen?
Yeah, for me, going through a couple of proposals. So obviously, previously we've been very invested in talking about presentations in good old, what do you call it? Our friend Manus, right? That was kind of one of the things that we'd go to. But I have been utilizing Claude for presentation formats, and holy damn, has it stepped up. It's got strong integrations now with PowerPoint, strong integrations with Google Drive. So going from, hey, here's kind of what my proposal design, like I want it to look like from a past document, or to then saying, okay, here's the presentation I want to create, or create one freely and give me that presentation, and then spitting it out, and actually having a one-click to Google Drive integration, because you have the connections now with your Google account, is incredible. And I would argue that it creates more click accurate
really?
presentations than Manus does. Like, you and I play with Manus every now and then. You've got backgrounds with all the images embedded in it, and so you can't figure out to move things around. Whereas I feel like Claude understands the layers of all of the assets that need to drop in a little bit better. So yeah, it's one thing I have that's really altered some of the workflows I've done previously is now utilizing Manus properly for my presentation creation. It's very good.
I like it. Yeah, I've used Manus for some of the various kind of meetup groups that we've run, some other presentations. It is pretty much the go-to. So we'll have to showcase a bit more of that on the next episode of this.
Definitely.
Back next Friday, although we're not going to do a live one because we are filming in studio.
Or maybe we do.
Maybe we do.
Maybe we have a little live stream going on to the right for anyone who wants to click in and see it in real time.
Exactly. Like yeah. We could do that. So you get
socials.
You get to watch early as well as like later on. I guess if we do like an edited version, but that'll be with Will Liang, a well-known. I was going to say entertainer, well-known AI celebrity, I guess, in the financial services space. So watch out for that one. But yeah, thanks for your time today, Chris. I think it's time to round out.
Sounds good.